Hello and welcome to another video. This will be another Jesse Ridgway reaction. This one is called The Movie Has Wrapped. So let's see what happens in this video.
I just wrapped on my first feature film that I self-financed, wrote, directed, produced, starred, and now we've entered into post-production. Yeah, my name's gonna be littered in all the credits. It was literally 8 months ago that I wrote the script for it at the PA house here by the lake. And to be honest, I'm just still a little bit in shock that it's all done. I mean, the edit's still done, but the hard part, the actual producing of the film is really done. This feels sort of like an end-of-year video, which that will be coming on this channel instead of the McJuggernauts channel. But I really wanted to self-indulge and reflect on what this filmmaking process has been like, and for any aspiring filmmakers out there that are watching or that are just invested in my personal journey, this one's for you. This was the hardest thing I've ever done in my life, and that's saying something compared to 2 videos a day for a year and a half, living in character during the Psycho series, one of the largest shows on the internet, and then My Virtual Escape, 24-episode produced series where, again, I was writing, starring, directing, editing, producing, literally everything. It's a lot of work, and I think what made this feature film process so much more challenging than the series on YouTube is we really stressed the detail on making everything look beautiful, whereas for YouTube, it's been very run and gun. We still want to make it look nice, but there is so much improv and just slapping stuff together, no real editing, that it was a completely different beast. Not to mention, I don't think the stakes could get any higher. We've blown through around $300,000 of the budget so far. We have some remaining to get us through with VFX and sound and color and animation. Did I just say animation? What is this film? This is more money that has been put down into any real film-related project I've ever done. We were burning like $5,000 to $10,000 a day during the actual production of the movie. I think we ended up locking in around 26, 27 days of actual filming. We traveled around to a lot of states in the U.S., which was a cool experience, but also expensive because you're paying for a whole cruise worth of flights, hotels, Airbnbs. And yeah, getting our many crates, or Pelican cases, as I really know them now by the ammo-looking crates, yeah, traveling with those is no easy task. I gotta say, these the ARRI Alexa Mini LF cameras that we shot with anamorphic lenses, these cameras were like 30 to 40 pounds, to the point where our cameraman had backpacks and apparatuses and rigs, and I can share pictures or video of what I have, but just keep in mind, guys, I am still trying to keep the film secret. I really have done a good job at not revealing the title of the film, the topic, the subject matter, the genre even, and unfortunately that'll probably remain the case until eventually the trailer of the movie drops and it's getting close to premiering, if not already premiered at a festival. Also, excuse me if I'm jumping around from many different topics. I just know I haven't gotten to speak candidly with you guys in what feels like many months, and I feel like a completely different person. To be honest, I mean, if we look at where I was a year ago after I turned 30 years old, I had a beard and my knee was effed up. I was just in a very dark, defeated place. This film very much was such a spiritual, symbolic win for me as an artist, just as honestly a human being. I want to just start off by saying thank you guys so much for supporting me through this process and being patient with me being MIA. I know I've said it, but I have to keep reiterating that because there's always a fear in YouTube world where if you leave the audience behind or you're doing other projects, that when you come back, they might not be there. And if you guys saw the recent video we put on the McJuggernauts channel, you guys really were excited that I am back, and that really meant a lot to me. This has been a dream of mine since I was a kid. I always wanted to get involved in the TV and movies, and it always came from a place of just telling big stories that have impact, that have some kind of emotional resonance, that help people like all my favorite works have helped me. I was elated I never had to go to LA or Hollywood to pursue that because of you guys found me on YouTube with Psycho series. And I was able to tell these stories in a way that I could clickbait and get a lot of views and attention, and was able to weave pivot into Devil Inside and all these other things. But as the years have gone on and demonetization has taken hold, it got to this point where I felt like I couldn't tell the stories I wanted to, where everything was so ADD and audience retention, what's the SEO, and I just felt my own creativity getting diluted. And I feel like my career really came to a head when I pivoted from YouTube to Storyfire, but I felt like it was something I had to do. I didn't feel like my work was being valued by the algorithm or financially with ad revenue, and Storyfire made sense. But I can't lie, operating that business for so many years and thinking in the marketing perspective and trying to scale it, it really killed my creativity in a whole nother way that I wasn't ready for. And then it failed. The business went under. Me and Brian, the relationship crumbled and it all fell apart. And for someone like me who goes full send, like I really delve so passionately into what I'm working on. Like if I believe in something, I'm all in. I give it everything I got. And I was stacking up many wins. You know, not every video I've published has been a win, but in all, it's been incredible. And you guys have been so great. However, when it came to Storyfire and that big fat L on my forehead, it really killed my confidence. It really did. I felt like such a stupid idiot.
How's the chicken? Oh, the prawns are delicious. Oh, I have a shellfish allergy. One prawn, very good.
I felt like such...
Yeah, it sucks that all that happened with Storyfire. And it sucks that your friendship with Brian crumbled too, but I am glad that you're back on YouTube. I'm looking forward to seeing what other videos you do. And I'm glad that Ashley did a video as well recently.
Just stupid idiot. I lost trust in myself. I wasn't sure if I was able to recover from that mentally, but it just took some time. I had to refine myself and refine my footing, and that's what last year was all about. But it's a part of the process, you know? These things happen. You're not always gonna be perfect. You're not always gonna get wins. Doesn't matter who you are. And trust me, I've had some situations where I gave myself a brain injury, where I walked across hot tar as a kid. I wasn't sure if I was gonna walk again. I wasn't sure if I was gonna think again. Talk about feeling like a dumb. I just gave myself a brain injury and I'm a vegetable for like 6 months. Talk about hating yourself. Talk about like, wow, I really can't be trusted with anything. You get so down on yourself that you start to believe that you're worth nothing. But I really don't care if this movie succeeds at all. I don't care if I get my money back. I already pretty much wrote it off. Because for me, the win came from I did it. Like we did it together. If it wasn't for your guys' belief in me and continuing to support what little videos I put out in the last couple years, I don't think I would have been able to pick myself up and do this. So in a lot of ways, this movie's for you, and this movie's for me, and this movie's for anyone who's ever doubted themselves. Try not to define yourself by these moments, by these losses, by these bad things that happen. Look at how far you've come. Look at the things that you have done, the times in which you were tested and you got back up. Without revealing much, this movie is so very personal to me. The subject matter is crazy. The journey that I've went on in the last few months, really 6 months, has broke my brain. Once you guys are fully filled in, you'll understand. And I really went above and beyond with my performances in this movie, and it's some of my best. I think it might be my best that I've ever done ever. The crew that we had was absolutely fantastic, and shout out if there's any crew members watching this video. Thank you for believing in me, coming on to join us. We had around 10 to 12 people. We had to swap some people out different times. I actually got sick 4 different times during the shooting of this film. I think just lack of sleep. Paul and I were doing 16-hour days. And with the traveling and just the emotional damage that was done to portray this, it was very heavy for me. This is technically subject matter that I've been sort of developing for the last 15 years, which is crazy to say. While we've been editing the film, it's just very overwhelming. We've had to take a lot of breaks. I got COVID for 2 weeks. I had like a 103 fever. I blacked out. out. I posted about it on Twitter. This was a picture of me after I blacked out. I thought I broke my nose because I fell in the bathroom and face planted into the tile floor. And as I mentioned with the brain injury, this was absolutely terrifying. And this was mid-production. So not only are we burning money every day because we have these cameras rented and all this other equipment, but the crew as well. Everyone's sacrificing their time to be a part of this. And then we have we have schedules to maintain. So another time, we were ordering food for the crew and I got food poisoning and I was out for a few days. I was sick prior to shooting, and believe it or not, I was sick shooting the final days because COVID relapsed for me. It was really bad. It was some of the most sick I've been in my whole life, and I almost passed out a second time. It was very scary. I guess you don't realize till as you keep getting older, just how much health is put on the line for the art. I wanted to do this video talking about the movie for myself, but also to illustrate to you guys that when you pursue a passion, there's this part of you that thinks that it'll always be sunshine and roses, it'll always be fun. I love making video, you hear it all the time, I love making videos and I love what I do, and everyone to an extent is convincing themselves and deluding themselves that that's true, but the real truth that I feel like is not said enough is more often than not, it's miserable. It's very hard work, and you're not going to enjoy it most of the time. It's not probably what you want to hear, but that's how it is. I still love it. It's like when people say they have kids, it's the greatest thing in the world, but then they're miserable half the time. But those are usually the best things in life. And oh my God, I couldn't wait for the movie to be done. But now looking back on it, what a ride. And then you forget how bad it was, and then you're like, all right, let's do another one. And then you remind you're like, oh God. I'm gonna text Paul. I want to get Paul down here because he's with me every step of the way, and he's cutting the film right now. We're working with our composer now. The soundtrack's coming. It's just such a cool process. For all the bad days, there's at least a good day or good moments here and there that you're reminded this is fun, and I'd rather do this than anything else. But let me just call him.
Hello.
Yeah, you want to head down to the lake?
Sure.
All right.
My time to shine.
Yeah. I won't. All right, so I'm going to roll this BTS.
We got cables that can make sure that they can connect to the actual Alexa Mini LF that we're using. Here's the funny looking 2-arm backpack stabilizer for that gimbal system.
So yeah, if you're curious, just the cameras, man. That's $25,000 for 2 of these, and this has everything we need.
Yeah. It's nice that I'm going to add a couple of my own personal things to it where they come with little hand grip controllers.
So this is that right there is the focus knob.
So there's the brand G-Raid, but then what maybe not this exact one because these are SSDs, but
and guys, I didn't realize just how fast these are. You can transfer over a gigabyte in 1 second.
Makes things
because that little stinky hard drive you see sitting right there behind the laptop, that thing takes for 500 gigs, it took over an hour.
It's because of that.
That's stinky.
It's normal USB. Then you got into a dongle.
And just look, it's plastic. It's slow. That fell already once, and I thought I lost everything. It's just I don't think you'd have to worry about that with these G-Raids. Because we're dealing with terabytes of footage, so Dom, when he's here, will be transferring all the footage of these G-Raids and be good to go. It's here. Dom. Here. No. The equipment, dude.
Oh, yeah, the goods.
Yeah, was it like this in Florida?
It's actually worse here.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, I'm sure right now, yeah.
Have a good one. Thanks, man. You too. If that's too heavy, I got it. You mean we're shooting with all this and we couldn't just shoot with that? You can fit that in one small purse.
That could be anything. Let's see.
Lenses?
Everything's a surprise. Oh, that's
that's literally it. And it's semi-built.
They built that.
It's fully built?
Oh, semi. There's a couple pieces, but wow, I didn't expect that.
I can see why an actual cinematographer would feel pretty bad with one of these, which I think is what Paul's trying to go for.
Yeah, right?
You just show up to the party with these. It feels like you're showing up with a 6-pack, where it's yo, what's up, guys? Got the It's a lens. It's a lens.
I go and pull out the 100 millimeter.
This is a heavy, what do they call them, piece of glass. Well, we're gonna let you get situated, get acquainted, and then we'll come back and see what we got.
Yeah, build a camera with a lens.
Yeah.
See what happens.
Waiting for Black Friday sale. Temu Black Friday sale is going on. Up to 90% off. Girls leopard t-shirt. Only 58 cents. More colors to choose from. Good quality. Trendy design. Perfect fit. Don't wait. Shop now.
God, look at her. Ashley, no, it's behind the look.
What?
Look at her.
What's on?
Dom and I were scripted there, but Ashley, that just actually. We got our lens attached. We didn't need an adapter for that. We got our big battery in there. Memory card's in here. Paul said, "Turn her on." Just gonna give it a lot of inner work. Sounds like old school film.
Yeah, there is an update that we can
This
do.
looks like. Tom, look at the quality of this.
No, it's the anamorphic, so we gotta de-squeeze it. We gotta change the settings in the menu. Make it all look good.
How does the person look on here?
No, because you could put different lenses in there on there.
What the? Dom looks like a ant. He looks like a Gumby or something.
Like long.
That's so funny.
Bro, get your little piece out of here, dude. Watch me just track Dom here.
I'm bringing Jess to a crash course right now. We're just going in circles around this house. All right, look at this beautiful painting right here. And then if I could bring your direction over to this piano.
This camera's hot. It's like burning my ear.
It's warm.
This nice leather couch.
It's only me angled down.
This thing is secure looking. Look
So
at
I never knew this existed. Paul educated us on this because apparently you can copy footage, transfer footage like gigs per second.
So essentially each drive is kind of a copy of itself, just so if one drive goes, or technically if 4 drives go, it's fine because the other, it's backed up on
It's
the
like
other
half
drives.
your brain just went out. But yeah, that's why you have 2 parts of your brain.
Yeah, exactly. So it's 96 terabytes, but it's technically half that.
And it looks kind of like a mini PC, but it's just a housing for a ton of drives.
It looks like an ammo case.
Yeah, actually it does. Oh.
There you go.
Oh, those look like fancier than the Lacey drives.
So,
Alright, there we go.
see what happens with this PC.
I want to do a shout out also to Lens Rentals. They're not sponsoring this, but that is where we rented all of our equipment. So the RE Alexa Mini LFs, which are very expensive cameras, each rig we had was ultimately around $100,000 retail value. I don't know if we would shoot again with these cameras. These are I think Paul has the stat, but the amount of Academy Awards that have been won on movies shot with this camera is crazy. So we definitely know that this movie will be beautiful. I'm quite confident in the storyline and performance and all that, but at least it's going to look good. And I do want to stress this point. Again, there is little to no organization to this. My head is still spinning from the just sheer amount of stuff that has happened over the months. I didn't even say, I tweeted it, that one of our lead talent got into a car accident, and there was just so many things. We got so many dope locations for this film, some in which we didn't even have locked down until midway through production. I don't know how we had time to even breathe. We were running off of Cliff Bars and Nature Valley bars and Goldfish crackers. Well, you can come in at this point. You were here every step of the way. We got familiar with this microphone for.
Hey, we
Don't
rapped.
drag me in.
How many rap videos are we gonna do?
Well, this is the real one.
This is the real one.
Not saying that was. I mean, I still get weird about. Not. Anywho. So yeah, how was it for you?
Incredible.
I didn't even say this, but I wanted Paul down because not only was he. I mean, we were doing the videos here, testing out your black magic. Paul was very much. He's getting the producer credit, the DP credit, the editing credit.
Being able to see, your vision through, being so proud of what we got from the very initial talks to finally seeing on screen and seeing it in finally on the edit, and how holy we did it. You know what I mean?
That's super important because there were times in which it was hell to write the script because I knew when I wrote it, we're going to have to somehow do it. And then when we were producing it and putting all the pieces together and with the locations and casting and all that, there was a lot of moments of we're so in over our heads that we're screwed, or how the hell are we going to pull this off or get this thing or this spot? And oh my God, we did it.
Yeah, you had a lot of the production companies saying that we couldn't get certain places, or
I want to flex on them so bad right now of like, no, they were like cool, but also there's nothing worse than when you're ambitious and you're trying to make a vision come to life, and then you have people that is supposed to be their job, and they tell you point blank to your face that this is going to be too hard or not possible, and you need to rethink and rewrite and reconsider, when instead we said, F you, we're doing it ourselves, and we somehow made the impossible possible.
No sacrifices. That's the one thing I can say great about Jesse is, say we're day 17 in and I'm tired and the whole crew's just tired, we're making great stuff, but it's just, that's the nature of the beast, is just being tired. Don't sacrifice the shots, don't sacrifice anything, and just pushing me to get even better and better and better. Shout out to the crew for really, elevating things that we didn't even, we would be so pumped about something and be like, this is amazing, and then they'll just because they're there and they're able to take a third-party perspective at all to crank it up a little bit more, and just that was the exciting and fun thing.
And Paul giving everyone the attaboys and all that. I mean, it would not have been possible. I know we have fun with these videos, and you've seen Paul a few different times. It cannot be stated enough that without Paul, this film would not have been possible. And I'm not just, that is it literally, Paul was the glue to this thing. He was literally my biggest support. There were times in which I was so sick or exhausted that he picked up my slack on those days, and actually was also the assistant director for this thing. And one of my biggest lessons I've learned this year and just throughout this process is forgiveness has been the greatest ally and has been the biggest shift in my life. And Paul and I poetically able to come together, what you saw with the whole And Again and the movie that we're shooting with him, that is all very real. That is a decade ago now. The just fluke synchronicity of us coming together, and without Paul this would not have been possible. And I'm glad that through this I was able to feel like maybe I righted a wrong, and that we are...
I think so. You did. You definitely did. Getting this opportunity, this is the biggest thing I've ever done. Best stuff I've ever shot, because of you.
It's beautiful,
so thank
dude.
you. It's amazing.
It's beautiful.
And it's all of the years of the jobs that I did that weren't so fun, I was able to learn all the technical stuff, and then finally the right time and place connect where I could just forget about the technical stuff and just get your vision across in a beautiful way, and just really make it something.
There were some things in life that you force, and then there might be a negative result. There was a point in which we had another DP, and I was starting to hire people that were more I guess you could say Hollywood, or had bigger credits and whatnot, and there was a level to which I was fearful, and then I just kind of let go, and I'm the other DP pulled out, and I looked at Paul and I was like, can you do this? And he pretty much was like, I've waited my whole life for this opportunity. I just want a chance to prove to myself and everything that I know I can do this. Everyone a part of this team embodied the underdogs, and I've always felt that in my whole life too. I'm a little dude. I'm a little dude, classically underestimated, and Paul's backstory is very similar, and you thrust all the underdogs together with this film, which once you guys know what it's about, are going to be like, what the...
Talk about it so bad.
You throw a bunch of loser rejects together and have them make a movie.
Yourself, man.
And it ends up being pretty awesome.
I had no idea that my first opportunity to do a film would be something where, regardless of where this goes, if anything, juggies are going to see it, right?
Somebody's going to see it.
Which is a huge audience.
Right.
And that's just mind-blowing to me. I don't think we're unhappy with any of it, which is incredible. I just thought, oh, well, maybe a couple scenes here, whatever, like locations-wise, might not, nothing.
I'm satisfied with everything. Even if it's not received well, or it doesn't like pop, we did it, and that's the, like, I genuinely feel like that was the win, and that it doesn't matter what happens after this. Obviously, it'd be great to get recognized and get accolades and it to sell, and all of you guys get to see it, but I got to see it, and we got to do it, and for me, it has literally restored all the confidence that I lost from Storyfire and the fails and all the diminishing views and whatnot. Like, I'm like, we're like, we're like pretty bad right now.
This is a whole other beast. This is a whole other beast, and we slayed it. Now we're just ready for the next boss. What's the next? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm trying to do some video game reference.
We're box wide open now. Like, you know, so it's gonna take probably 2 to 3 months to finish the edit. The scary thing is we're pushing for this Tribeca, which is Tribeca Film Festival in New York. Quick drive for us in Jersey, PA. However, I don't know if we're gonna hit that deadline. Luckily, they let us works in progress get submitted. So we're still going to push for it. But we did learn that there's, I missed a festival. It's Cannes Film Festival in France. And it looks like those submissions last at least till February, maybe even March. And that's in May. And the whole deal now is we're just under the gun. The pressure's still on. We wanted to get a video out to you guys to let you guys know what's up. We're going to be more active, but that's where we're at. We're just focused on the edit. Dom's here editing as well. He's editing this video. But we got the holidays coming. We got Thanksgiving. We got Christmas. So we got some distractions, but this is it. This is the end of the line. We thought we could maybe rest a little bit after filming, which it's been lower energy, right? I mean,
sure, we've gotten a little bit more sleep.
Like your back almost broke.
Yeah, a little bit here and there. If anything, it was the days off where I felt the worst. It was like, as you keep moving, just the next step, just got to keep going. We were able to reassess and like really, it was almost a blessing in disguise a lot of those times, which is good.
Yeah, so maybe we end up in France. I don't know. The idea is that we premiered at one of these festivals. You know, one of the big streaming platforms is at the festival. They're like, yo, that movie was dope. We want to buy it. And then the rest is history. That's the goal. We'll cross those bridges and you guys will be informed every step of the way. It'll be fun. As soon as we get any wind of a premiere or something, you guys are all invited if it's possible. And if not, we'll figure out a movie theater to rent, a drive-in. So, yeah, kind of like we did with Psycho Family, the documentary, which I want to say with Psycho Family, because I know you guys are probably confused, that was a movie. I had my hands in all aspects of production. That was just a documentary about my life. That was about the Psycho series. Brian was very, very crucial to that and was directing a lot of that and helping piece together all that while I kind of focused on the talent side and showcasing everything. But this was another animal. This was all everything I have had poured into one thing. And I think if we can make it into the big festivals, they'll watch it and they'll say, wow, this was a crew of like 10 people and it looked like they had maybe a crew of 30 with the finished product. Also, it looks like a $5 million movie and apparently they made it for like a few $100,000. This just felt like the next step because I poured so much money into Storyfire, didn't get a return. I'm like, why did I pour so much into a platform when I could put it into the thing that I'm actually talented at, which is making entertainment, making art and all that. And so I set aside $500K, but the first quote was for 1.3 million. Second quote was for $500K from another production company, but we were getting shorted the days of filming, and it was with like these Sony cameras that were like a fifth of the price, and we were compromising a bunch of other things. And what's crazy is we now know how to produce a movie, and we know how much all the equipment would cost for rental. We know how much it would cost to buy. We know how much it costs to cast. We know how much it costs for props. We know how much it costs for locations. We also now have all these connections in the area that are willing to let us use locations for future films. We just like build out a bit of a network.
It's that portfolio for Rigid Studios, baby.
And it's pretty savage. And knowing too that, yeah, I think I'm only in around 300K, which is incredible. I mean, us doing the post-production mostly ourselves saves a lot of money, and Paul and I wearing 20 hats saved a lot of money. We know what we got to do. We have our deadlines, and then beyond that, for the end of the year video, it's possible I know I'm getting back full-time into YouTube. It's possible that Paul maybe joins us in that world a little bit.
Maybe not jumping in too many more lakes, but yes, of course. Incredible experience, and
You're looking for
you're seeing more of me.
You're looking
That's
for
all
more
I gotta
instant
say.
gratification. Is that?
Oh well, sure. Well, yeah, because no one's seeing this film for like.
No, it sucks. It sucks. I'm loose lips usually, and I want to just be like, but I really want it. Why am I being so secretive with this? Maybe because it's so personal, and I'm also scared that like once it's out, and then I don't have my leverage anymore. But then also like I've made a lot of false promises over the years, like I'm back to content, I'm passionate, and a lot of it was me convincing myself. But this is my essence, my soul. I poured everything into this. I want to make sure it's absolutely spectacular till I even give you a taste, just to show you how much I owe you for sticking with it.
Yeah, we were discussing
Releasing a trailer,
or like when to do that. And
With the Wells Fargo Active Cash credit card, earn unlimited 2% cash back on purchases.
stuff like that, and it's all you want to make it worth it. You know what I mean?
I mean, here's the poster. Nah, that was a troll. That was a troll. That was an alternate on the Psycho family. It looks dope. I might get a print of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll see. We'll tease more. And I don't know if I should even be saying this, but
are you going to finally give something away? What are you going to give
We've
away?
teased so much over the last 6 months, and not one human being has caught any of it. To where everyone's like, Jesse doesn't even try anymore. It's like, you guys don't know how much more subtle I've gotten with stuff. Shout out to Studio Binder. This was a nifty program that I didn't realize it had all these talent release forms, location release forms that we customized a little bit for Rigid Studios, and that helped us legally with getting our cast and locations. And then Studio Binder was so critical in storyboarding everything and getting that schedule. I think that was one of the trickier parts, was scheduling the shoot, and props to us for little to no production experience that I feel like we scheduled very well.
Sure, I was always in offices where those things were going on, so I always had my ear or like on calls and Zoom calls and stuff, but I was never able to make any decisions. But I was able to learn those things and like eavesdrop, get all the information you can, because in the future you're gonna need it.
There was so many times where I just asked Paul, and because of his experiences on set or other stuff, I was like, oh, he's got the answers, so we were good. But Studio Binder, I didn't realize was so clutch, because you just plug the script in that you wrote, and it'll start to categorize things by, okay, what props do you need, what VFX do you need, or like what locations, and it'll actually batch shoot by locations for you. And they have a nifty little call sheet program that once you decide kind of a rough schedule based off your locations, you plug in emails and stuff and you click some buttons, it sends a call sheet to your cast and crew so they know where to go, what to do. And I don't think we could have made this film years ago. I think I needed every experience on YouTube producing, like doing the series and stuff and acting and all that to be able to handle this. I think we would have been screwed, because there was really no margin for error. There was no moment where, oh, we got a little bit of downtime, like let's shoot this. No, like we had very set schedule stuff. We had certain people we were shooting with. The budget was high, and it's like, you know, we had maybe 2 hours to get these scenes down, and if we didn't get it, that's too bad. You're screwed.
Yeah, or multiple days where the sun's getting lower and lower and lower. Oh no, we got to get these shots in before the sun goes down, you know.
And there was scary times in some of these locations that we were shooting at. I got met with the YouTuber stigma a handful of times throughout the production, whether that was hiring crew members and they were just like, oh dear, like he's a YouTuber. I don't know if I want to be a part of this. I don't know how good it's going to be. From the location standpoint, from a talent standpoint, from every angle you can imagine, it was met with that critical eye of being like, oh, that's Underwear Boy with the lawnmower. And I don't think this guy is going to make something professional, or he's going to be capable enough, or this is going to be like a YouTube drama, homegrown clickbait BS that I want no parts in. So just keep that in mind, that no matter what, you're going to get profiled. Like when you're trying to do something ambitious, they're going to look at you, they're going to size you up and be like, you can't handle this. But you got to basically tough it out and think like, all right, well, you might not believe in me, but I got enough in myself and I'll prove you wrong. and we definitely had that energy throughout, and that I feel like that adrenaline carried us most of the way, because if we didn't have adrenaline, we would have died.
Yeah, keep those emails going. Keep following up. I don't know if you said this in a video or not.
No, we just got approval to use a certain very popular licensed song that I thought was going to be tremendously expensive. Turns out was like the most reasonable price I could ask for, and that has come from, I you not, 6 months of incessant emails to one person, to many people, to multiple labels and offices and agents and managers and all this crap. Do not give up. You got to keep pushing every step of the way. And yeah, that can't be understated. Rogue DMs, tweets, emails. You have to push so hard. It's not supposed to be fun or easy. What excites me most too is the amount that Paul and I have learned through this process. We now can apply all these techniques and things, and even the business side, to YouTube, and could potentially really make some innovative content and stir up the game like we used to do in the McJuggernuggets way. There will be a weird limbo period where the movie will be done and it won't be shown to the public for probably many months. So we're gonna have to come back full force to YouTube because we're gonna be bored as hell, and we're gonna need to fill the holes in our hearts.
Yeah,
I'm gonna miss it. I'm gonna miss this story.
I can't really say anymore without spoiling anything when you say that. I really want to talk about it.
I think I've done a good job speaking in like riddles and tongues.
Well, I'm not used to it. I don't know. I think I've done pretty good so far.
No, yeah.
But luckily, I'm not huge on social media or anything like that, so I'm like, it's easy for me to like keep things secret. But I don't know. I don't want to keep a secret anymore.
I know. Soon. All right, guys. Love you, Jays, to death. We'll roll any remaining BTS we can actually show here. Trying to think if there's any other little things that we missed throughout.
You going in the lake?
If you've got an Android phone, here are 5 reasons why you need the Opera browser. Number 1 is a built.
Dom's been our like little test dummy.
Show the car commercial stuff, because that to me that's the craziness of this. Dom is in Transformers, like officially.
This could be a Chevy commercial.
1000%.
It looks great right out of the box.
Yeah, it does. Dom's wanted level increased to the point where play that. The school bus tries to mow Dom down. Look at it. Oh my god.
Drilled by the school bus.
Literally filled with children just trying to mow Dom down. Dom just got data overloaded.
Yeah. I just digested the full creative here, the full movie.
Because you didn't know, you knew little details, but not the full.
I knew snippets of the movie, but this is my first time actually sitting down and seeing it like play by play. And I'm blown away.
It's a lot, dude.
There is other behind the scenes that we have shot. We got some stuff. When the movie comes out, we'll probably release just a little bit more stuff, but it's not going to cloud up the McJuggernuggets channel. I'll say this too. You'll hear more about it at the end of the year video. I'm keeping McJuggernuggets to mostly all narrative and the best of the best. This channel will get my more personal stuff like the end of the year video, any updates, and any vloggy type stuff that's generally real. That's going to happen here. We're full separation mode. Because I would like to see it.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. I don't blame him for doing it that way, so I'm not surprised at that.
Era in which McJuggernuggets grows again. Anyway, I'm combining the end of year with this movie. I just haven't talked to you guys in so long, so Jesus. I did want to single out Ashley on the cruise specifically. Without Ashley's help, Ashley really helped me with my wardrobe and the food for the crew, and because I really wasn't anticipating her being kind of like a production assistant, but really she really came in and had my back every step of the way. So thanks, bye. You did great. Definitely needed you throughout this process, even just to maintain my sanity. So thank you for that. And it was super awesome to have Dom come up after cutting the YouTube content, kind of get exposed to this film world, which I know he's passionate about. Came through and really worked hard, and it's a lot for all of us. I wanted to do also a special shout out to all my family members and friends and new people through backstage that we snuck into this film. That some people have large roles, which is dope. Some people have just the minorest cameo video, and I think it's going to be dope for fans of all the series and stuff we've done on McJuggernauts to be like, oh my god, that's so-and-so from that one obscure video, or that's that prop from that old series, you know? There's so many Easter eggs in this film that I think it's going to be a little bit overwhelming to try to keep track, and it really just has felt like the next evolution of me and my life and my journey. I can only imagine what sorts of opportunities and things that this film could.
What I'm also curious about is if he's going to do another blackjack stream soon, because he hasn't done that in a while.
Unlock for me, maybe not even just as like a director, but also maybe as a producer or a financier. You know, I'm looking to maybe invest money into other feature films that people are producing, and it even unlocks it from a talent perspective. Like I said, you know, my performances in this, I think it would be dope to maybe star in more stuff or have cameo roles in other movies. Like, who knows, you know, putting this out here for a mainstream audience, you never know who's watching and what sorts of things could come from this. So I'm just excited for changes and new things to happen, and I'm just, for the first time in a while, I'm actually excited for the future instead of being like kind of afraid of it. I just want to end on, guys, do not give up on your dreams. If you have a dream of making a feature film, if you have a dream of, no matter how small, big it is, do not give up on those dreams, and let's just stay focused on making those dreams a reality, never giving up on yourself. Love you, Jays of Death, and don't forget to keep it frigid.
Damn. That was a good episode, though. I enjoyed that. Or not episode, but video. But yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what's coming on this channel, McJuggernauts, Ash's channel. So it's going to be interesting to see that. So, anyways, with that being said, I'm going to end this video here. Stay tuned for the next one.